Shanti Shanti.
Tarati Shokam, he will transcend grief. Tarati Papmanam. Papa means all the constrictions of the mind. Generally it may mean evil tendencies, but it is not evil. Even punya is considered papa in spirituality. Because by doing some punya karma, if our ego increases, that is again constricting, it is consolidating our smaller identity. So we call that also papa. So all the constrictions, all the knots, he will overcome. Tarati Shokam, Tarati Papmanam. I have told earlier also this Tarati Shokam in Chandogya Upanishad, Narada Sanat Kumara Samvada. When Narada meets Sanat Kumara and asks him to give some Upadesha, then Sanat Kumara asks Narada that before I tell you anything, I must know what you know. And there then Narada says what he knows. He knew everything, all the Vedas, all the Vedangas and all kinds of other Vidyas like Sarpa Vidya, black magic, white magic, everything is mentioned there in Chandogya. You can read it if you want. Now saying that, he said, but I know only the mantras. I am not an Atmavid, and I have heard from the rishis that Tarati Shokam Atmavid. If a person has known the self, if he has realized the self, he will not have grief. But I have grief, I suffer grief. So I have not known the Atma, I have not known the truth. This is the confession of Narada before Sanat Kumara. Then Sanat Kumara tells him about Brahma Vidya. So this Tarati Shokam, that Shoka will not be there, suffering will be there for everybody. Suppose a guru, his shishyas are not all right, and ashram there is all disorder. Will not the guru have some suffering, dukkha? He will not like the situation, but he will not be overwhelmed with grief or anything. He will accept that situation also. Suppose the shishyas are very good, they are all very harmonious and the ashram is very good. Will not the guru be happy? He will be happy, but he will not be elated or think that, oh, my ashram is very great. So we have to understand the subtle differences. Guha grantibhyo vimukto amrito bhavati. Guha means, as I said, it can be Hrid Guha or Buddhi Guha, both mean the same. That means there is the knot of the ego. Guha Granthi means the knot of the ego. Now, when we say ego also, we have to be very careful about it. Because the physically, when we talk about the ego, it is the hub of our personality, where all the functions are coordinated. Suppose whatever the memories I have, when we are seeing some people, we should be able to relate that this person I saw there, this is his name, this is his background, this is his biodata. Then when we are interacting with something, say even taking food, I must know that this food had caused me some problem, today I should not take it, or this is a food which suits my stomach, I should take this. All this coordination of the different sense organs and the memory and the intelligential analysis, everything is done at the hub which is called the ego. Then don't think that ego, dissolution of the ego means that hub will go. If that goes, the knower will not be able to function. He will become like we have some, after stroke or so, some people become vegetative person, they live but they cannot function anymore. He will become like that if the ego is completely dissolved, that physical hub of the personality. When we say dissolution of the ego, we actually mean egotism, that is the ahankara we have. We have imposed a kartritva and bhoktritva behind everything that we do, that everything we see. As in Bhagavad Gita they said that Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhigacchati. He says gunebhyah anyam kartaram yada drashta na anupashyati. Yada drashta gunebhyah cha anyam kartaram na anupashyati. When the drashta, the seer, does not see any further karta apart from the gunas. Now he has used anupashyati. This, it is not just seeing, it is following that. That means the gunas are active in our body, mind, personality. They are interacting with the world. That gunas are going on with their functions. Now always we are positing a karta behind that. That is the I. We are getting ahankari about it. We are becoming egoistic about it. That egotism is coming because of our imposition, because of our superposition of that I on that, out of delusion. When that delusion goes and we don't posit anything like that, not only that, gunebhyascha param vetti, when we see something beyond the gunas, what is that? That is not involved in any of the activities at all. Guna guneshu vartanta itimatva na sajjate. In another place Bhagavad Gita says. So, mad bhavam sodigacchati. Then he attains, Krishna says, my bhava. My bhava means Krishna's bhava. Now, Krishna has identified himself with that real identity. So, he also, the knower also identifies himself with the real identity. So, that is how guha grantibhyo vimuktaha avrito bhavati. He becomes immortal by dissolving the guha granthi, all the ties, the knots inside, that knot of the egotism within. By untying that, by dissolving that, he becomes immortal, getting rid of the delusion of his constricted I-ness. Next verse, that is 3.2.10. Tadetad richabhyuktam Tadetadrichābhyuktam Kriyavantas shrotriya brahmanishthāh Swayam juhvata ekarshim shraddhayantah Teshamevaitam brahma vidyam vadeta Shirovratam vidivadhyaistu chirnam. Now, the previous verse they said the phalashruti means what happens to the previous, actually jathanadhyasya namana also, what happens to the knower. Now he is going further as the concluding verse, saying that to whom this Brahma Vidya should be given. That is very important. In all our Vidyas, any knowledge, any learning, always there is the Adhikari Tattva. That means who is a fit receptacle of the knowledge. Not only receptacle, who can give the knowledge and who can receive the knowledge. This is very important. And this was very much practiced in our country, as I mentioned earlier also, that even in the knowledge of archery, Dhanur Vidya or any other Astra Vidya, it was very much part of the knowledge to understand the student very well. A real teacher will not impart the knowledge of very powerful Astra to a person whom he feels that he may not have enough discipline, that he will not be able to control his desires and other things and misuse the weapons given to him. That means the country was so much well integrated in this thought process. Vedanta was not only for the personal emancipation, for personal fulfillment. Vedanta has given us a full social philosophy and social norms, social economy, whatever you can say. The whole society is resting on that. With the 4 ashramas, with the 4 purusharthas, all these have come from this realization of the truth. Now, any vidya given, their idea was that Astra Vidya is given to protect the country and protect the good, not to destroy the good, but to remove the evil, to protect the country from evil. We need Astra Vidya, we need military to protect the country from evil. But our military should not be used to destroy good. And it was very much ingrained in the civilization. That is how the civilization was living. But even then, there had been some occasions when the civilization also had fallen, as we find in Mahabharata, that there were kings who were not righteous. So, a change had to come, and that is how Mahabharata was fought. But by and large, always any powerful Vidya, to give it, they will always give it to a deserving disciple. So this Brahma Vidya is the most powerful of all. So naturally, to whom it can be given and to whom it cannot be given, that becomes that Adhikari Tattva is extremely important here. Here what he is saying is that it may not match exactly with us because these are written thousands of years ago. But whatever is the essence of the message, that will be valid even now, that we should not miss. Because most of the vratas and the yagas they are mentioning, we may not know anything, nobody is doing that. But what was the purpose? As I explained earlier also, the yaga yajnas are designed basically that mind is desireful. So we will want to fulfill our desire. Taking that cue that the one will try to fulfill his desire, a yaga has been designed that after a person who has done this yaga, he will be born in this kind of a heaven or so. He will have this kind of a fulfillment. Now in the process of the yaga, it is discipline, and in the dana which always followed the yaga, it will be all distribution of the wealth. So the mind will become liberal and the mind will become disciplined once you go through the yaga. So suppose a person has done the yagas but not following the Vedic injunctions properly, as we find in Kathopanishad. Nachiketa's father was performing the Vishwajit yaga but not following the Vedic injunctions. He was miserly in his mind. Seeing that, Nachiketa felt that my father, instead of being taken to the heaven, he will go to the hell. So I have to protect him. Which means that he was not doing the yaga properly, and in that case his fitness for the Jnana Kanda or for Brahma Vidya will not come. Whereas Nachiketa, without performing the yaga also, he had the fitness for the knowledge. Now we have to understand it very well, and Shankaracharya has written a lot on it, that truly who is fit for Brahma Vidya is decided by the sadhana chatushtaya. I have already explained these. That Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shadga Sampatti, Mumuksha. That these are the qualifications, enough of sadhana chatushtaya will make a person fit for grasping this knowledge and holding this knowledge. He will be able to retain this knowledge also and realize and actualize this knowledge. So sadhana chatushtaya is the real criteria. But it is expected that by performing the rituals, undergoing the disciplines of rituals, chanting Upanishad, various readings and all, studying Shastras, etc., a person will become disciplined and will cultivate lot of sadhana chatushtaya. If it doesn't come, then he is not fit. But suppose a person has enough of sadhana chatushtaya without doing these yagas and vratas also, then he becomes fit for the knowledge. That we must understand. So those who have enough of sadhana chatushtaya, they are the real deserving fit receptacle of this knowledge. So is it that then the others cannot listen to it? Now there we should understand that earlier this knowledge was restricted to very few. This Upanishadic knowledge, it is called Kevala Jnana Nishtha. The pursuit is called Kevala Jnana Nishtha. A pursuer of this knowledge will only do manana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana means listening from a realized person, or studying the Shastras also part of Shravana. Manana means constantly thinking about it, because the mind will have, intelligence will have lot of doubts that the Shastras are saying like this, but I am finding I am not like this, this is not that, this is not this. We will have lot of doubts. So not with the orientation of argument, but to understand the truth with the attitude of enquiry, we should question everything, inquire into everything and sort out all our doubts. So manana will continue till we become doubtless. When we become doubtless about the truth, then comes nididhyasana. That is, it's a constant one-pointed flow with the truth. That is, the mind will be constantly contemplating on the truth and truth alone. And the finale of nididhyasana is the knowledge, the jnana samadhi. So that is the kevala jnana nishtha. It was not meant for all. Even now also it is not meant for all. Even when Arjuna said that I will take to this, oh Krishna, you are saying that jnana is supreme, so I will take up sannyasa, I will take up bhikshacharya, and I will pursue this. I am not going to fight this war. Then Krishna told him that no, you are not fit for jnana nishtha, you are fit for karma nishtha only. So, but don't doubt that whatever you do, I will tell you by how you have to perform, how you have to fight, what should be your mental attitude. So that by fighting the war also, you will go to the same place finally where the people go through knowledge. It is the same nishtha in two forms that I will tell you. And then he said about the Samatva Yoga. Earlier Arjuna was thinking that I am fighting the war for yat rajya sukhalobhena, for the greed of winning over the kingdom and enjoying the luxury of the kingdom. The whole attitude was changed, and it was because he could fight, because he was a Kshatriya and he has to fight to establish the righteous rule on earth, not out of any enmity with Duryodhana or any such desire for enjoying the kingdom. So that was in Bhagavad Gita. This Samatva Yoga had been presented in Bhagavad Gita, which is also based on knowledge, but not a full Kevala Jnana Nishtha, which makes this pursuit available to anybody in the world involved in any field of activity, in any stage of life. That is the revolutionary concept of Bhagavad Gita. And if he takes it up with the proper attitude, he will have the same benefit as anybody else will have through the Jnana Nishtha. But generally the Kevala Jnana Nishtha is said to be the direct path. That means, suppose there is a fruit. Now to get that fruit, we have to get a stick with a hook and then try to pluck it and pull it. Finally it may fall and it may split also, we may not be able to enjoy, but it takes a lot of effort to get it. Maybe I have to climb to a certain branch and then again try to pull it like that. But a bird which is sitting on another tree on a branch, it can straight fly to that fruit and eat the fruit. It is compared with that. That Kevala Jnana Nishtha is like that. The truth is spoken of, and if you have the deserving qualities, you straight away, you understand the truth, you actualize the truth, realize it, and it is done. But the fact is that everybody is not fit for this. Most of the people will say that when we sit for meditation, the mind goes here and there, I am not able to meditate. That means they are not fit for this Kevala Jnana Nishtha. Most of the people will not be able to read the Shastras because they will not find any rasa in it. So, depending on the fitness, the sadhana is chosen. But finally, it will lead us to the same goal. That we should understand. So, Shankaracharya said that even if people are not fit for listening to Upanishads, they should listen to Upanishads. There will be definitely some benefit, because where else they will know that such a truth is there and the fulfillment, this path is there and such a truth is there, such a consequence is there, such a goal is there for life. So listening to the Shruti, the Upanishads, will definitely be fruitful for all. But at the same time, they are restricting certain things also. In this shloka, what they are saying, Tadetat Richa Abhyuktam. About this Brahma Vidya, this Richa means this mantra is there. In the Vedas it is there. What is that? Kriyavanta Shrotriya Brahmanishtaha Swayam Juhvata Ekarshim Shraddhayantaha Tesham Eva Etam Brahma Vidyam Vadeta. Tesham Eva Etam Brahma Vidyam Vadeta. Vadeta is beginning. But Tesham Eva, only to them, this Brahma Vidya should be told. And suppose such people are there, then we are ought to tell them. You cannot say that if somebody is there who is fit to receive and you will not tell him. No, that is also not permitted for the Guru. For the Acharya, he must tell to such a person. And he must tell to people who have these qualities. What are the qualities they have mentioned here? Kriyavantaha. They are not idle. They are involved in the proper kriya, not in karma. Karmavantaha is those who are doing out of desire, those who are motivated by desire. In this case, we find in the beginning that Shaunako havai mahashalaha. That mahashalaha means great householder. He came to Angiras. Vidhivad upasanna papracha. He came to Angira Muni, Angira Rishi, Vidhivat, that means as prescribed in the Upanishads, as prescribed in the Vedas, he came like that. That means he was a deserving, fit person who came to Angira. That we understand from his question also. What did he ask? He did not ask for property, he did not ask for some other material benefit or worldly benefit or anything of that sort, or even to get rid of some dukkha, some suffering Nothing he asked. He asked, Kasminnu bhagavo vidyate sarvamidam vidyatam bhavati iti. By knowing what, everything will become known. So he had only the inquiry after truth. So he was not given to any other work motivated by desire. He has done everything in his household life. Shrotriya, that means he is given to Shastric orientation. He is not avoiding the Shastras, because if we lose our touch with the Shastras, we may go the wrong way. People often say these Shastras have spoiled our society. It's absolute wrong and reverse. The day we started coming away from the Shastras, our society started degenerating. And the British people had deliberately done it by luring the knowers, luring the Brahmanas, from taking them away from this dissemination of the Shastric knowledge. Actually, the Shastras are the main stronghold which had kept our civilization alive and intact on the auspicious path for thousands and thousands of years. We should understand it. The moment we came away from the Shastras, within 100 years, 200 years, we have come to this precipice. We have come to this degenerated state. So Shrotriya is very important, that the person should be having enough of Shraddha, enough of value, enough of devotion towards whatever is written in the Shastras. Otherwise, don't tell him Upanishads, is their injunction. Brahmanishtaha. Now, it is not for a knower they are saying, for a student also. Brahmanishta means he wants to know only the Brahman. He is wholesomely devoted to the knowledge of the truth. Swayam juhvata ekarshim shraddhayantaha. Not only that, he himself has performed. It is not that you employ 100 people to perform a yaga and you keep away. Not like that. Many instances come to my mind in such cases. Often we have found that how much of sadachara our Shastras have been always talking about. In Kalidasa's writing in Shakuntala, there we find that the king is coming with his retinue, and when he finds that the forest, he is telling his minister that, see, we must have come near to some Rishi's ashram, because I find that deer, they are not going away from us, fearing us. The deer are all fearless. I find the birds are also here, the peacocks are there, they are all fearless. So we must have come near to some Rishi's ashram. So he asked his ministers to order the military to remain there. The whole military is kept back at that position. He himself got down from the chariot with barefoot, without any armory and all. He walks without creating any disturbance, walk inside to find out whose ashram is it and where is the Rishi, etc. To see the Rishi, the moment they came to know in the forest that we have come near a Rishi's ashram, the sadachara starts. For a king, not for ordinary person. So he walks with humility, with full respect, because this respect was there. All the kings, whenever they were in doubt, they were taking the advice from the Rishis to know where lies the good, what we have to do. But I doubt in our writing the constitution whether any Rishis were consulted. At that time we had many Rishis. Even as if I am not wrong, Sri Aurobindo also was available at that time, is what I feel. There were many other Ramakrishna Mission sannyasis available. Whether any of them were consulted, I have my doubt. That is why our constitution is like this. It never mentions anything about this great heritage of India, which has kept this civilization living for thousands of years. We are so ungrateful to our forefathers. So he says that he has to do that ekarshi. That ekarshi, it is a kind of a agnihotra. Swayam juhvata ekarshim shraddhayantaha. He himself has performed this agnihotra and shraddhayantaha, with lot of shraddha, not out of neglect or anything. So many things we do neglecting also. We have found that some rich person coming to Swamiji with lot of, say, fruits or so, as people see a saint, they come. So when they are coming, we find that the person walked in and he has asked his driver to reach the saman inside somewhere. This is not the way. That whatever possible you come, you may not be able to, suppose it is very heavy, you may not be able to bear it, but you have to have that humility to at least hold it in a manner with the other person, or touch it, or come with it and do it with lot of humility, lot of shraddha. It is not that the saint wants some fruits or wants something and we send it just like that. In another case, they send lot of furniture, the almirah, the chair, the table, the secretariat table and all. And they never even asked what Swamiji would like to have. They were all black in color, and Swamiji never uses black. So, what are these? He might be rich, he may have a furniture shop or something, that is why he could send everything. But this is not the way a saint is to be offered something. The offering has to be made by himself with lot of humility, shraddha, value and whatnot.